contest. Your referee will be Mr. Mike Keener. Introducing first, from Hell's Kitchen, New York, weighing in at 255 pounds, here is Cujo the Hellhound.
It is standing room only in Kearney's Point, New Jersey, tonight on March 10th, 2012, as we count down the final weeks until the ECWA 2012 Super 8 tournament. My name is Joe Dombrowski, representing the ECWA and Outsource Announcing at Facebook.com/Outsource Announcing, as we present to you the last stop on the road to the most prestigious tournament in independent professional wrestling today. But a lot of ground to cover and a lot to get to before we arrive there. Starting all off with the ever-dangerous Cujo the Hellhound. Center ring set for one-on-one competition. And whoa. Already, Joel Blackheart, part of this invading TWA faction. Get the introduction of the opponent.
From Atlantic City, New Jersey, weighing in at 199 pounds, here is Heartkiller Chris Wylde.
Well, Chris Wylde was one of the brave athletes that has stepped up to the plate in recent times to defend the ECWA against this invading faction of TWA members and sympathizers. However, it has come at a price. You see the injury on Wylde as he makes his way to the ring through a throng of sold-out fans here tonight, all of them ECWA loyalists and truly, firmly behind Chris Wylde in this war. Now that Cujo the Hellhound has apparently made a proverbial deal with the devil. It was Wylde, and it was Kikoa, the Flying Hawaiian, and the monstrous Atu in a six-man street fight war with the Blackhearts. And who could have ever predicted the unfortunate turn of events that would go down at the conclusion of that matchup. More on that later, but take a look at this capacity crowd. A lot of wrestling organizations will trump up claims about sellouts or the SRO signs going out early, as the old adage goes. But here it's absolutely 100% true. Fans were turned away here tonight from Kearney's Point, New Jersey. Clearly they can sense the fever pitch in ECWA as well as the rest of us can. And Wylde gingerly favoring his ribs, but still preparing for battle. This is sure to be a memorable night. And sure to be a long one if you're the Heartkiller Chris Wylde. Now, one look at Cujo the Hellhound, you can tell he's not exactly the best businessman in the world. Doesn't spend a lot of time on the stock exchange. But he seems to have made a financial deal with Joel Goodhart and a career deal with Joel Goodhart, well, he will be very handsomely rewarded if he not just defeats Wylde, but takes him out of the equation altogether. These fans having a good time. Wylde's going to have to depend on these fans to help him along. Joel Goodhart none too happy about the Cujo has fleas sign that Wylde apprehended from ringside. The bell has sounded. This matchup has started. And Cujo, business acumen aside, it's impossible to deny or ignore the fact that Cujo is unequivocally, unquestionably, one of the most dangerous athletes you're going to find here in ECWA. I think Joel Goodhart showed his 2 decades plus of experience and knowledge and know-how by selecting Cujo for this deal. And we all know the history, of course, of Joel Goodhart. He ran the TWA wrestling organization, a precursor to ECWA, in many ways a precursor to ECW as well, the famous South Philadelphia promotion. ECWA resurrected TWA for a short time, not too long ago, but decided the project didn't work out to their expectations, closed up shop, and Goodhart was offended by that, felt that it affected his legacy negatively. It kind of marred what he had done back in the day, and he's back to restore the good name of TWA at the expense of taking over and running down the ECWA organization, just as he feels ECWA has done to him. In the early going, it's Wylde attempting to keep a quick pace and send Cujo to the outside, but what about the elephant in the room? What about Mike Tartaglia aligning with the Blackhearts, with the Invaders, and Wylde goes up high. He soars with a suicide dive to the outside on Cujo. Wylde going high risk to attempt to end this matchup early. That may be what he needs to do, but you can see the effect it took on Wylde. It may have had just as much of an effect on Wylde as it did, oh, watch out, Goodhart, as it did on Cujo. And Joel Goodhart certainly deserves a good beating. If I were him, I'd back away from Wylde. Wylde's proven how dangerous he has been. But I cannot believe the fact that Mike Tartaglia has betrayed his own promotion. Oh my God! Oh, Wylde hit hard. Right on the lower back, the red, and come on, Goodhart getting in those cheap short kicks. Under normal circumstances, I'm not sure if they could crack an egg, but when you got a guy with severe injuries like Wylde, who spent time in the hospital due to a rib injury, I'm not sure the exact specifications, if they're bruised, if they're cracked. I hope they're not broken, but keep in mind that was because of more involvement that we saw in that matchup from the outside. A man named Mustafa Aziz, out of nowhere, about a 300-pounder, just dropped all of his weight down on Chris Wylde's ribs, and the rest was history. So Cujo right now, and just buries the knee. right where it counts. No accident there. Not going for style points, not going for pretty, just going for effective. And drives the elbow down now as well. That's all that weight of Cujo. Gonna pin him here, 2-0. Remember, the goal is to not just pin Chris Wylde, but to hurt him. And Cujo's definitely doing that. A stomach claw. Oh no, now the protective tape. That may be the only thing holding Wylde's ribs in place, and not going to help matters any further. Went for the knee again, but Wylde had it scouted. Quick roll up, almost put him away. Oh, Wylde needed that, but he couldn't quite hold him down for 3. And when you're in such pain to an area like the back or the ribs, any movement hurts. It's to a point where even breathing hurts. So it's difficult for Wylde to get his full body weight and momentum behind a roll-up like that. That could have been the difference between a 3 count and not. Wylde draped again, ribs first on the tightly enforced top ring cable. Very, very little give there once again. And Cujo just going to work. Shoulders, right hands. Has hushed this sold-out crowd. Cujo had a steam, but nobody home. He had the bullseye on Wylde's ribs, but the Heartkiller was a step ahead. And Wylde with momentum. And follows through with a senton. All the body weight connects. Cover. Got it here. No. Near fall again. All that body weight of Cujo. Tough to hold down. And Wylde unloads with the knife edge chop. Cujo reverses up and over. Joel Goodhart at ringside, cheering on Cujo as he drops down Wylde. Could be all. No. Well, Cujo made a mistake there. He instinctively went to lean on those ribs further, but he left the shoulders of Wylde completely exposed. Wylde was able to slip one up pretty easily. Ribs are hurt, but shoulders are fine. Cujo's got to remember that, but Cujo's got tunnel vision here. Again, I don't think he cares about a victory so much as inflicting pain, much to the delight of Joel Goodhart, and I'm sure the entire Goodhart faction, Blackheart faction. Wylde with an enziguri, desperation style. Measured, oh my God, huge super kick. He may have knocked Cujo out. Came damn close. Cujo barely slides a left shoulder up, and everybody in shock over that one, maybe none more so than Joel Goodhart. Wylde headed up top and gets cut off at the pass. Hope to get reaction tonight. Well, wait. Big high risk here. Superplex Cujo takes Wylde down. And Wylde immediately favors the ribs. Just any impact just sends a reverberation through those ribs. He's about to say, hope to get some reactions on the Mike Turk tag league situation within this broadcast. Tag team championships will be defended. Huge 6-man. Of course, Papadon to defend the championship in our main event. And so much more. It's Cujo first to his feet. And just grounding Wylde. Put the man down. Wylde ducks. Hits a pump kick. A split-second explosion of offense. Can Wylde follow through? Oh no, watch Joel Goodhart. Joel Goodhart distracting Wylde. And Goodhart might get long awaited comeuppance. No. Cujo interrupts, but is sidestepped. Wylde with an Asai DDT. He's got the leg hook, and somehow the injured Wylde pulls off an upset over Cujo. Major victory. And a desperately needed swing of momentum on the side of the ECWA faction after the demoralizing event just a week ago, where they lost nearly everything in that six-man tag. Chris Wylde is the worst for wear. His ribs are nowhere near 100%, but he's shown that the Blackhearts cannot hold him down and cannot take him out.